Women get discarded by alphas and saved by betas. Okay? Make no mistake about it. Women get discarded by alphas and then rescued by betas. Okay? Generally in their 30s, once they're past their prime, once they're just getting off the carousel. Right? And she knows now's her time. She's got to settle down. If she wants to have a kid, now's her last chance. She's in the fourth quarter. She's heading into sudden death overtime. Right? And she needs to find that beta provisioner. Why? Because she couldn't get the alpha to do it. Because no woman in her right mind ever leaves an alpha male. Right? They don't. Think about it. Not a single woman out there has ever left an alpha male. They get discarded by them. Okay? They get discarded by them. And if you're one of those, dummies who was foolish enough to rescue a post-wall female in her 30s, right? We call him DG on the channel, right? We call him the DG, damaged goods, right? If you're one of those guys, make no mistake about it, okay? It's not that she broke up with the alpha Chad, she got discarded by him, okay? Even if she tells you that, yep, I dumped his ass, I ended it. I was the one who ended it. The reason why she ended it is because he did so much shit to her that it got to the point where she had no choice. She had no choice. And it's usually because he stopped coming around anyway, right? He was done with her. He was over her. And now it was to the point where he was just calling her like as a booty call. He was just calling whenever he felt like it. And then enough time lapsed, enough time went by, maybe like a year or two, where she waited for this guy and he didn't come back around, and then some beta provisioner entered her life, and then she was like, okay, I'll be with you, and then now she's telling you that she dumped the alpha Chad. No, the truth is alpha Chad just stopped coming around, right? She didn't dump alpha Chad, she got discarded by him, okay? Discarded, because these girls who are in their 20s, riding the carousel, banging these bad boys, dating the alpha bad boys, dating the alpha Chads. Make no mistake about it, man. These chicks, they didn't want to dump the guys. Are you kidding me? You think any, girl in her 20s who's at the height of her sexual prime and is, banging these alpha bad boys, do you think she wants to dump any of these guys? No, of course not. Right? These chicks, I've seen these chicks just make all sorts of excuses for these guys, protect these guys, even when family and friends are like, girl, that guy Chad is not good for you. Oh my God, he's a flake. He's probably cheating on you. I saw him at the mall with this other girl. Then he was at the bar with some other girl, and then he's probably seeing you when when in the middle of the night when he finally catches a break. He's totally cheating on you. He has alcohol problems. He has drug problems. This guy's not good for you. She will come up with all sorts of rationalizations for why he is the way he is. She'll make all sorts of excuses for him. Okay? She will literally bold-face sit there in front of her closest family and friends and be like, no, girl, he's going to be okay. He's fixing himself. He's really a good person. How many times have you heard these girls just say some really crazy shit like that about some really bad, abusive guy that they're dating? No, deep down, he's really a good person. He's not like that. He's a good person. And, he's telling me he's going to change. He's going to change. They will do all sorts of things, go to all sorts of crazy lengths just to keep this guy. I mean, she will go to the ends of the earth to protect his reputation, even at the cost of ruining her own. Okay, she will do all sorts of things to keep the alpha Chad around. She will compromise with him, whatever you want, I'll do it for you. Whatever you need, I will do it for you. She'll loan him money. She'll go bail him out of jail. She'll loan him her car, right? She'll quit her job for him. She will do all sorts of things for this alpha bad boy that she would never do for the beta provisioner. Basically the good guy, the guy who's really willing to commit himself to her, the guy who's willing to basically sacrifice his life to give her a better life. She will not do even half of the things for that beta provisioner that she would do for the alpha bad boy. Because again, you know, these are the guys that get these women hot. Get them all hot, right? Impregnate them, leave them high and dry, turn them into single moms, turn them into damaged goods, ghost them. And these are the same guys that these girls, once they become damaged goods, they become post-wall and in their 30s and they find that beta provisioner, she will still be fantasizing about that alpha Chad, right? That will be her alpha ghost, right? That's why we have that term, right? We call them alpha ghosts. She'll still be fantasizing about that guy. She'll be having sex with you and remembering him. Crazy, right? Crazy. But at the end of the day, make no mistake about it. No woman in her right mind dumps an alpha male, right? They get discarded by them. Okay? They get discarded by them. And then they get saved, aka rescued, by the beta simp. Right? Which is what I never want you guys to become. I never want you guys to become that beta simp that rescues these women who rode the carousel. Right? They basically wasted their entire SMV on some alpha dickhead who had no intention of being there. No intention of staying with her. Right? His life was a wreck. I don't want you to be with these type of girls. Okay? Because they're damaged. And even if she's in her 20s, she's on the way to becoming damaged. I've mentioned this in another coaching video, how I could spot this. I can spot this in girls who are still in their 20s. Even when I'm in venues now and I'm talking to a girl and say she could be like 22, 23 years old. Still young. I generally will ask the girl questions like when I'm in the building comfort and rapport phase of my 5 steps to doing a proper approach with a girl. When I'm in my building comfort and rapport phase with her, I will ask her about her previous relationships. Oh, what was the last guy you dated like? Oh, okay, cool. What type of guys do you normally go for? And generally the girls will be pretty honest. They'll be like, oh, well, the last guy, yeah, he was kind of abusive. Yeah, he was kind of abusive and, you know, kind of like emotionally abusive. And sometimes they'll even say physically abusive, right? And I'll say, what was the last guy like before him? What was he like? Oh, yeah, he was kind of the same. Red flag, red flag. This chick is on the way to becoming damaged goods. Especially if these girls are hot, without fail, of course they're going to have, like, good guys, right? High value guys who are trying to marry them off in their 20s, offering them the world, and I'll ask them about that too. I'll say, are you telling me you've never had a good guy, right? Like a guy who has his shit together, just want to marry you off? And the girl like, oh yeah, there's this one guy, he was like a real estate agent or a real estate broker. He made really good money, really nice guy. He took me to the best restaurants. He always picked me up and he was always like smelling good and he would always open my door and he always paid for me too. My last boyfriend never paid. I was always paying. But this guy, this real estate guy, he was a really good guy. What happened to him? Oh yeah, I just wasn't really attracted to him. Like really, why? Was he ugly? No, he was really good looking. What was it about him? I don't know. I just wasn't attracted to him. You know why she wasn't attracted to him? It's because he wasn't treating her like garbage. He wasn't treating her like shit. And these girls who become damaged goods, right, and are on the way to becoming damaged goods if they're in their 20s, the reason why these girls go for guys that are, you know, to use a very loose term, bad men that are bad for them, is because they have self-esteem issues. So you'll notice a lot of these girls who become damaged goods have low self-esteem, especially the ones that are what I call former hotties that are now in their 30s, 40s, and beyond, that you could tell, like back in the day, this chick was smoking hot. You know, when she was in her 20s, she was smoking hot. Why is she now like 50 years old and still single? Are you trying to tell me not a single good guy has come along and offered this girl the world? Of course they have, right? In reality, of course they have. She's probably had dozens upon dozens of great, high-value guys come along and offer to sweep her off her feet, pay for her entire lifestyle. The chick would never have to work a day in her life. You know, and good-looking guys, too. And she said no to them because they were not abusive enough. They did not treat her like shit. They did not treat her like garbage, like a lot of these guys that, you know, that she considers alpha males, right? The alpha bad boys. they did not treat her piss poorly like that. And unfortunately, these chicks who become damaged goods, they are emotionally damaged. That's why they need that type of abuse in order to feel loved, in order to feel worthy, because they don't, like deep down inside, they don't feel worthy of a high value male. And this is why I tell you to stay away from these girls who are damaged goods. I mean, a lot of times they have daddy issues too, but a lot of it comes back to low self-esteem, not feeling good enough. A lot of these girls have very, very deep insecurities too. And when I say deep, I mean deep. And a lot of these girls too, I would say overwhelmingly most, if not all of them, are extremely, extremely hypergamous. Like the second you turn your back, the BBD comes along, the bigger, better deal, they're gone. Or they will use that as an excuse to start treating you like shit and start sabotaging the relationship because she knows that, hey, I've got a higher value male than you. I don't need to deal with you. And then she'll start sabotaging the relationship. When I call these girls damaged goods, you better believe I mean damaged goods. I'm not just using it as a term. There's a reason why I call them damaged goods. It's because they're damaged, son. You know, they can't see a good guy if you've like walked in front of her. And obviously, clearly, like I said tonight, a lot of these girls, especially these former hotties, have had good guys just offer them the world, and they've turned them down because they were that. They were good guys. They did not turn her on sexually because they were too nice. They had their shit together. They weren't bumming money off of her. I mean, essentially, these guys were too boring for her, right? They were too boring for her. Make no mistake about it. I mean, because there are women out there, we call them good women. There are good women out there, believe it or not, that will actually suppress their hypergamy. And I've seen it, you know, and I'm not trying to like do the Nawalt thing or, you know, rah-rah for women or anything like that. I'm just being honest, you know, from being out in these venues for the last 3 decades, cold approaching thousands of girls. I mean, I've come across, you know, a good number of girls. I'm not going to say all, I'm not even going to say half. I'm going to say probably like 20%, which is still pretty good. Right? I'd say 20% of the girls that I've met out there that are able to suppress their hypergamy, even though they are attracted to like the alpha Chad type, just that bad boy stuff, like deep down inside, they know like this guy is never going to be a great long-term partner. He's going to be a bad investment. So these women are like, as much as this guy's hot, I'm going to say no, because I know it's like instinctually they're aware that they're at the prime of their sexual marketplace value, right? They're at the prime of their SMV. They're aware of it enough to know that they have to use this time to lock down a high value male and not ride a carousel, not ride the carousel, right? Not rack up all these sexual partners. And a lot of these women who, again, we call them good women, they don't want that. They don't want to have all these male sexual partners. They only, you know, if anything, a lot of these girls will get married in their 20s, and if anything, they might have slept with maybe like 2, 3, sometimes only just 1 or 2. So yeah, they're not like these girls who get off the carousel in their 30s or the day they turn 30 and all of a sudden they've had like 75 guys. Crazy, right? 100 guys. You know, it's crazy, and that shit is a turnoff. And as we've talked about on this